If you've been thinking about buying your first hearing aid, there's something nobody tells you before you click buy. And it's the reason most people who try one end up throwing it in a drawer within the first week. The moment you put a hearing aid in for the first time, ordinary sounds you've barely noticed for years, the hum of your refrigerator, your own footsteps, the rustle of your own shirt, suddenly feel deafening. Most people panic, assume something is wrong with the device, and quit. But what's actually happening in those first few days is the strangest part of the entire experience. And once you know what's coming, the first 30 days look completely different. Today, before you spend a single dollar, we're walking through exactly what to expect week by week, from day 1 through day 30, including the one moment around week 4 that decides whether you actually keep wearing it. Because when you put in a hearing aid for the first time, your brain doesn't just receive better sound and carry on. Something much bigger is happening beneath the surface. Your brain has been compensating for hearing loss for so long that it actually has to relearn how to process sound. That doesn't happen overnight, and the first few days are the most intense part. Suddenly, everyday sounds like rustling paper, running water, the refrigerator hum, or your own footsteps might feel incredibly loud or sharp. It's not that these sounds actually got louder, your brain just stopped filtering them out over the years, and now they're arriving at full volume all at once. This is exactly why the first 2 to 3 days are the hardest, and it's the exact window where most people give up. But the truth is, the most important thing you can do right here is simply keep wearing them, even if it feels like a lot. The biggest mistake you can make right now is trying to stress test your new hearing aid in a loud restaurant. Instead, the best advice is to start in quiet, familiar places. Stick to wearing the device at home during your normal daily routine. One-on-one conversations with family members are ideal because your brain is already familiar with their voices, which makes relearning speech patterns a lot easier. Just prepare yourself for a bit of frustration early on. If you've been living with a clarity gap for a long time, flooding your ears with all these forgotten sounds can feel overwhelming at first. The secret is to give yourself permission to ease into it. Studies show that people who wear their hearing aids for at least 6 hours a day see significantly better speech understanding within the first month compared to those who wear them inconsistently. Wear time is the real engine of adjustment. By week 2, the overwhelming intensity of those first few days finally starts to fade. Sounds that felt sharp and startling begin to blend into the background as your brain does the heavy lifting of recalibrating. This is the week you can start testing yourself in slightly tougher environments. Try a conversation with the TV on in the background, a quick phone call, or a dinner at a quiet cafe. You aren't trying to push too hard too fast, just gradually widening your circle. You'll know things are moving in the right direction when you notice you're understanding conversations better and family members aren't repeating themselves as much. But the best sign is something that catches most people by surprise. You'll feel way less mentally exhausted after socializing. That constant listening fatigue starts to disappear because your brain doesn't have to work double time just to keep up anymore. By the end of the first month, something great happens. Most people are completely comfortable and finally starting to genuinely enjoy that newfound clarity. The hearing aid stops feeling like this extra thing in your ear and just becomes part of you. The exact same way a pair of reading glasses eventually stops being something you notice. Week 4 is also where the daily routine clicks. Taking a few seconds to gently clean the device, storing it safely in a dry case, and charging it overnight becomes second nature, keeping everything running smoothly for the long haul. Data shows that if you stay consistent, you'll reach peak benefits within these first 30 days. Now, the 1 month mark isn't the finish line. Improvements will keep happening in tough environments, but it is the point where the hard work is behind you and clear, easy hearing becomes your new daily baseline. Almost every first-time user is surprised by the same thing, and it is worth mentioning before you go through it yourself. Your own voice will sound different to you at first, and it can feel quite jarring. Acclimatizing to the altered perception of your own voice is one of the most commonly reported surprises among new hearing aid users, and while it can feel strange in the first few days, it settles down as the brain adjusts to the new acoustic environment. Some people also notice a very mild physical awareness of having something in the ear canal, particularly in the first week. This is completely normal and tends to fade quickly as wearing the device becomes part of your daily routine. If any discomfort feels persistent or genuinely uncomfortable rather than just unfamiliar, that is worth addressing rather than pushing through. So overall, starting your first 30 days without knowing what to expect is exactly why so many people give up before their hearing aids ever get the chance to help them. The first week is usually the hardest, but once you push through those early 100 days, your brain starts to recalibrate and speech becomes much clearer again. That is exactly why we built the Nova hearing aid. And if you're ready to take that first step, you can use code YT10 right now to save 10% through the first link in the description below. We designed Nova to be simple right out of the box, helping people with mild to moderate hearing loss without the technical overwhelm that comes with many traditional devices. And because your brain needs time to adjust to newly restored sounds, every purchase is backed by a risk-free 100-day trial, giving you more than enough time to adapt without pressure. If you want more honest, practical advice to help you navigate your hearing health with confidence, make sure to hit that subscribe button before you go.